Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Peek, a chiropractor in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Today we're going to talk about a procedure in the chiropractic office called an adjustment, actually a spinal adjustment. Each time that a patient comes into my office and into the office of, I think, every chiropractor, hopefully, they receive spinal adjustment. The purpose of the adjustment is to correct the subluxation. Now, we use the term adjustment because a subluxation, by definition, means that a vertebrae, a bone in the spine, is out of alignment. And what would you do with something that's out of position or out of alignment? Well, you would adjust it back into position. So the procedure we use is called an adjustment. When chiropractic started in 1895, traditionally, and most people think of an adjustment as a manual procedure, something done by hand. And that was the way things were done for probably 50 years or so. But then gradually, as science and technology kind of caught up to chiropractic, we learned that there were other things and other ways that we could adjust subluxations. We could use what's called an instrument. And so instruments have evolved over time in chiropractic to the point where now it's estimated that 75% of chiropractic offices use an instrument, either to a small degree or, in our case, in our office, exclusively. We use an instrument to adjust the subluxations exclusively in our office. And I want to introduce you briefly to the instrument we use. It's called an Impulse IQ. And the Impulse IQ is named because, in effect, it's intelligent. There's a computer chip in the instrument called an accelerometer, but that senses motion. So when we put that on a subluxation, the instrument senses if there's motion underneath, and if so, it will speed up or accelerate to match the motion and make the adjustment even more effective. When it senses motion has stopped, the instrument stops, which is a great safety feature, and also means that we can't over-adjust or over-manipulate. Whereas manually someone could still push with their hands, they really would have no idea if or when something is moved or not. So the Impulse IQ is not only efficient, but it's very safe. Now, one question that I sometimes get asked is, can an instrument do the same thing as a hand adjustment? People can imagine someone pushing with their hands and an instrument tapping lightly. So we're going to be scientific for just 1 minute. You all remember your high school physics, all right? And in high school physics, we learned that force, and that's what we're producing whether we push with our hands or use an instrument, force is a result of mass times acceleration. So for example, very quickly, if we had a large mass like an elephant, it doesn't have to move too fast or accelerate in order to produce great force. The same instance with a small tip like that, not as large as an elephant, obviously, it compensates by moving very quickly. I don't think you can even see the motion here. And not only can we move quickly dozens and dozens of times faster than an individual can use their hands, but we can do it repetitiously, as you notice. So the instrument actually, my experience and my opinion, is much more efficient and effective than manual work. I worked manually in my office for over 25 years, and I gradually switched to instruments, and I just never look back. I feel it's very effective. Also, the nice benefit of an instrument is not only can we adjust the subluxation, the bony area, with the instrument, but we can use this on muscle tissue also. And the muscles that hold and sometimes spasm around the subluxation, we can release them by working on them with the instrument and make the adjustment even more effective. And the one last thing I would talk about is this. The people that make this instrument very nicely put together a program where we can demonstrate efficiency. It's called a certification program. In order to be certified in the Impulse IQ, you have to pass both a written examination and a practical examination, and they're relatively rigid. And in the state of New Jersey, for example, at the time of this video, there are only 7 chiropractors who are certified to use the Impulse IQ, only 2 of them south of Trenton. And obviously I'm one of them, or I wouldn't have told you that. So we're certified to use the Impulse IQ, meaning we've proved our efficiency to the developers of the instrument. Remember, we're using the instrument to adjust subluxations, to remove interference from the nervous system, to allow your body to function more effectively. That's all we need to tell you today. Next time we're going to talk about the law of cause and effect. Thank you very much.